Good evening. We went with my full name because we felt that it would be confusing and you would felt hard done by for your £8, £7 if you got it online, if you've been announced another Neil G. I would just like to say to the previous Neil G that during a drunken moment on a field course, one of the students decided to say, "But you are the real G, the real G." And I'm so white and middle class, I give him the Neil G. I still don't really know. I thought I just showed a moment ago how I didn't really know what it was. I said, "Yeah, because I am really good." It means gangster. Oh, okay. I want to talk to you tonight about how deforestation kills more than tigers. I'm going to start with a little joke, just to, to see how we're going. I'm an evolutionary developmental biologist. I'm a paleontologist. I like to mix it up with my evolution. And I go to conferences every so often. This may or may not be true. It's helping to build the joke and hopefully get you on side. I do go to conferences, but maybe I also go around the houses with tangents and go on for much, much longer than I meant to, and David's watching me, and I know that the time is ticking, but that's okay. So, I went to a conference about mollusks. You know what mollusks are? Yeah. And it's remarkable. They were talking about snail phylogeny. Phylogeny of snails, the tree of snails, if you will. And what's funny about snails is that on numerous occasions they've lost their shells. And that's a bit peculiar. And so afterwards someone asked the chap who was giving the lecture, because it's all men in snail phylogeny, and they said, "Dr. Mollusk," that was his name, it's normative determinism. Why is it that snails have lost their shells so many times? And he looked sort of wisely and twiddled his... He didn't have as good a moustache as me, but he twiddled it. And he was thinking about it. He said, "Well, there's got to be a good evolutionary reason. And I would imagine it means that the snail would lose some weight, be able to avoid predators, become a bit faster." And I knew that was automatically wrong, because if you take the shell off of a snail, it doesn't become faster, it becomes sluggish. Thank you. My undergraduates did that research. I have told that joke to 100, I told it to my colleagues, I told it to the senior professor, who's an ecologist in the department, and he just looked at me, and I thought, okay, I won't go for promotion next year. I'm an evolutionary developmental biologist. I have done Bright Club before, but you won't recognise me from before, because before I was a lot fatter. Now I'm thinner. And I'm an evolution, and the flip side of evolution is ecology, and ecology and conservation go hand in hand. So why am I telling you that I've lost weight? Well, it's because I feel a bit guilty, because as a chubby guy, I was actively sequestering carbon. I've lost 4 stone. 4 stone. That is like a 4-year-old child. I've lost the equivalent of a 4-year-old child. And I just metabolised it, turned it to carbon dioxide, and I don't care. So I do feel a little bit guilty. But what I want to talk to you about is really that evolution is not... It's not thinking about weight, it's not a thinking thing, it's thoughtless. That doesn't care. Well, it does. It doesn't care about anything. It's just getting on and doing its thing. And that brings me to Australia. Because if you want anywhere that is testing out evolution, you want to be in Australia. And I've left my book over there because I've got a list of things. Okay, it's not that I haven't prepared. Okay, this isn't Bio 2001 and epigenetics. If Gostling doesn't know about epigenetics. No, it's not that. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm giving you the correct information. And Australia is a weird place, because it's testing evolution. It doesn't have a direction, it's not thinking. If you want to, you don't have to go as far as Australia if you want to know. You can look in the mirror and you can look at your eye. The human eye is rubbish. I mean, it does a pretty good job, it's good enough, but there's a big blind spot, and your brain makes up the bit that's missing. And it's built backwards, but you know, hey. Needs. Is anyone in here? Oh God, you're all horribly young. There was a conversation going on in the pod next to mine the other day, and I could hear the students saying, "Oh my God, he's 26. It's so old." They weren't talking about me. I'm 42. Well, I look pretty good for it. I know, but you know. It's one of these things where you think, oh, bloody, I'm 42, my knees hurt. Yeah, because we've modified our bodies. We haven't done it ourselves, but evolution has modified a quadruped into a biped, and which is why at 42, I'm a perfect example of this. You know, got to talk about what you know. I've got sciatica. Well, genuinely, my right leg really sore. Guys, if you're not yet 42, you've got this coming. Yeah, laugh it up. So Australia, yeah, evolution is good enough, but not everything's perfect. You will hear the odd creations. They're all odd. You'll hear creationists saying things like, "Oh, the world is so perfectly formed. Everything here works so perfectly." No, eyes, knees, and backs. I've just told you about those. But yeah, I mean, maybe the world was trying to, you know, evolution, Mother Nature, whatever that isn't, was trying to put everything out of the way and make us safe, because Australia is a really long way away, surrounded in water, and we couldn't get there. I mean, some people got there between 40 and 60,000 years ago, but, you know, the rest of us were kept out for good reason, because when we did get there, we kind of screwed it up, toes. You know, let's just have 8 out of 10 of the most deadly organisms known to man were put out of the way in Australia. I'm just going to read you a few of them. The Inland taipan snake is number 1. They didn't even tell you how bad it is, they just put number 1. Belcher's sea snake. If you get bitten by a Belcher's sea snake, you're dead in 30 minutes. The beach sea snake has one bite can kill 50 adults. Why is that a thing? Doesn't need it. Oh, this is a good one. The cone snail. Going back to mollusks, this is really true. Mollusks are snails, they're hermaphrodites, and they impregnate each other, often by stabbing each other with a male appendage, getting sperm into the other one's body cavity, and making it. Yeah, the cone snail has adapted its love lance into a harpoon that has enough neurotoxin to kill 10 people. The box jellyfish. Now, this is even before we get on land. This is just around. Don't go to Australia. And so the box jellyfish will kill you in 5 minutes. The Indian taipan, number 1. Number 2 is the greystone brown snake. It's the second most deadly after the Indian taipan. They didn't even need to actually give you any more details. The yellow-bellied sea snake, I don't know what that is. The coastal taipan. It will attack if cornered and it will attack you so quickly you won't even know you've been bitten and you're dead. So that's good. The mainland tiger snake will attack for no good reason. I'm sure it has a reason, has anyone ever asked? And we've got the Sydney funnel-web spider. I like this. It's not exactly a mutated, ill-tempered sea bass with a freaking laser beam, but it is described as a poor-tempered spider that's quick to bite. And the neurotoxin wreaks havoc with the human nervous system. So, you know, avoid it. The blue-winged octopus, one tiny octopus, you get 6 fitting in your hand, 6 fitting in your hand, and they have enough venom to kill 26 people. They didn't even meet people until 40 to 60,000 years. Why? Its venom is 1,200 times more toxic, more potent than cyanide. And that's really my point. It's not that, it doesn't need it to be 1,200. I mean, as toxic as cyanide would do. But because there's no balance, there's no, it's not disadvantage, it's not bad. This is what my lectures are like, guys. Be amazed I get the feedback I do. As long as it's good enough, as long as it's not causing it's not disadvantaging the organism, then do you know what? 1,200 times is good enough. That'll work. So, you know, this is all the stuff before we even get to sharks. Australia is, I mean, it's got to have some nice animals, hasn't it? It's got to have something. Who can think of a cute Australian animal? Koala! Thank you. Riddled with chlamydia. And this is another example of maybe why evolution is trying to get the balance back. Okay, the koala is riddled with chlamydia. Incidentally, human beings can catch chlamydia from koalas. No, not like that. From the urine, okay? So it's even worse, you know. No, it's not worse. It's not even worse. It's more No, it's not more. It's all disgusting. Put the koala down. Step away from the koala. Do not touch the koala. So yeah, okay. Now the reason this is why I think that evolution is trying to make a balance. Okay. First of all, Mother Nature sequesters all these terrible things out of the way. It's like putting a screw cap top into a bathroom cabinet, and then like babies and children clambered up onto the basin of biodiversity, and we opened it up, and but maybe nature is trying to redress the balance with the koala bear. It's not a bear, with the koala as well. And the reason I say this is because the koala bear shares a common ancestor with an animal which is more perfectly evolved, and that's the wombat. Who knows what a wombat is?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. That's good. I'm not going to test you any further than that, but good. You know what a wombat is. A wombat is a burrowing marsupial, and evolution has worked brilliantly because as it's burrowing into the ground, okay, it has evolved so that its pouch faces the other way. This is good, because as you're burrowing into the ground, if you've got a pouch that opens a la, sensual kangaroo, okay, then mud on top of the Joey's dead, that's not good. However, if you've got a slightly backwards facing pouch, this is brilliant. And instantly, I believe that wombats have an armoured bottom as well, so that once they've burrowed in, they can protect with an armoured arse. I don't know, but it's an amazing organism. And that's brilliant, it works superbly well. And then the problem is, a koala bear, it's not a bear, has evolved from a common ancestor with the wombat. We know this to be true because the wombat, with its chlamydia, has climbed up a tree with a backwards facing pouch to eat a really nutritiously poor plant, okay, the eucalyptus tree. It's full of toxins to stop anything eating it. No, I'm going to try, I'm a koala. What have I got to lose? Oh, I've lost my baby. Because it's facing the wrong way. It's fighting against it. It doesn't want to survive. And do you know what? Maybe it just shouldn't. I don't know. Of course it should. We love koalas. We shouldn't lose anything. It's not just marsupials. Let's come back into the old world. It's all the same age, by the way, 4.58 billion years. When that's like, no, this is a new bit, I can make this today. No, it's all 4.58 billion years. Let's come back to China. I'm a paleontologist. If you want to find awesome fossils, doesn't matter what they are, you'll find them in China. At one point, there was actually someone making them in China. I mean, Archaeoraptor, two unique fossils stuck together, made in Taiwan. It wasn't Taiwan, it was actually mainland China. So we've got the panda. And the panda's brilliant. Who loves a panda? Yeah, pandas are super. 7 million years ago, they diverged from what was frankly an awesome creature called a bear. Bears fit into all kinds of habitats, all kinds of niches. They do extremely well. They are carnivores. They eat meat. They do very, very well indeed. You know, when people come along and hunt them, and like Donald Trump's son shoots them, what a lovely chap he is. So yeah, we've got these bears and we've got pandas, and they split off and they go their way. Bears are carnivores. Bears are carnivores. That's what they do. Pandas don't do that. Pandas decided, I'm going to eat something even less nutritious than eucalyptus, which a koala, not a bear, is eating in Australia. I'm going to eat bamboo. And so a koala bear, sorry, not a koala bear, mixing up my not bears there. The panda has to spend 14 hours out of every day eating bamboo. That's great. Oh, wonderful. I'm eating bamboos and it's delicious. Do you know how much it eats? 27 pounds. 27 pounds. That's 12.5 kilos for anyone who wants to know. Or about the same amount as a 2-year-old weighs. You know, we've got to use this in units, unit fans. It's about the same mass as a 2-year-old. Maybe pandas should eat 2-year-olds. No, they don't. So, The panda is doing its thing, but pandas aren't doing very well. You need to have people wearing blue safety wear and a mask, and then they get 2 pandas, and you put 2 pandas in a room, and you say, pandas, be nice to each other. And the pandas say no. And the main problem is that a panda, a female, they don't eat the proper thing first. It's a bear that doesn't eat meat. Or picnic baskets, or anything, it just doesn't do anything. So it's doing everything wrong. And the other thing it's doing wrong is sex. The females are, let me just check my numbers. I want to say, yes, there we go. The female is actually fertile for 12 to 20, she's on heat for 12 to 25 days a year. 12 to 25 days a year when she's not interested. Of that, 2 to 7 days she's receptive, but not fertile. No, she is fertile for about 36 hours. And she needs to eat bloody bamboo for 21 of those hours. She's really angry, she's not happy. I'm a female panda and I don't want you coming over here. And the male doesn't help because he's only got a 2-inch penis, so it's really not going to work very well anyway. But I'm being unfair. I'm being unfair to pandas because, as I said, pandas diverged from bears 7 million years ago. That's the same time as humans diverged from the club, and chimps. The last common ancestor of humans and chimps 7 million years ago, thereabouts. Pandas have been around, their lineage, as long as we have. We're doing okay. Brexit. To be fair, pandas are doing better. They haven't voted themselves out of a large economic power. So they're doing okay. So there must be some other reason. Actually, pandas are now off of the endangered list because it turns out that people in blue suits and masks, putting them in a room, playing the right music, has worked. They're now just off. But there's lots of other things which are still on the endangered list. I mean, Donald Trump at the moment wants to build a wall between America and Mexico, and that sounds great if you're mad. But what he's also going to do is it's going to stop jaguars being able to move from the southern United States into Mexico and doing all the things that jaguars do. And we're fragmenting their habitat. And this is a big problem, and I think it's fragmentation of habitat, which is really causing a problem for all sorts of things. Deforestation kills more than tigers. Can I just get a show of hands, please? Who thinks we should protect all species? Who thinks, who doesn't? Who's not put their hands up? Shame on you. Phil, put your hands down. That's terrible. I can't believe you wouldn't want to protect all species and therefore make my end joke that little bit funnier. Deforestation kills more than tigers. It turns out, and this is where Trump can come in, and I think Trump can help. Trump has the perfect... We'll get it. Okay, right. The Amazon rainforest in Brazil is being reduced, and we are losing species hand over fist. That is going to be also a Brexit measurement, hand over fist. I don't know what it means, but then again, I don't really know how much a pint is, if I'm honest. In Brazil, we're losing forests, and it's also Brazilian deforestation, which is causing the loss of this species that I'm going to talk about now. And so I'm going to suggest to Donald Trump, he may be happy to be shooting tigers or whatever he does. I'm sure he shot a tiger. He looks like the kind of chap who would, given the chance, shoot a tiger. And so maybe he can help this. And so what I'm going to say is no longer should we fragment habitat, no longer should we deforest. Stop the Brazilian wax and save the pubic louse, which is on its way out in the United States of America as we speak. Now, if you don't really get behind that, that's fine, because it's a bit grim. But that's okay, and that's really the end of my set tonight. Thank you very much.